You're facing an issue, Prabhu?
Prabhu, this text is audible, Prabhu. This text is visible.
No.
Text was not visible.
No, you do share full screen like that you do, Prabhu.
Yeah, I didn't like that only, Prabhu. Let
Not
me.
open the text in your place.
Prabhu?
You open the text in your place.
Yeah, I have opened already.
Okay.
The time is showing 6:32 only. Maybe it's not fully updated. 6:32 it is still. Can you unshare and share, please?
Okay.
This does not suggest, however, that we should not go to the places of worship, namely temples, churches, and mosques. Such holy places of worship.
Yeah, it was fine, Prabhu. It was showing the text. So you just increase the size, font size from right bottom. Okay.
Are also occupied by the Lord, because the Lord is omnipresent. For the common man, those holy places are centers of learning about the science of God. When the temples are devoid of activities, the people in general become uninterested in such places, and consequently the mass of people gradually become godless. And a godless civilization is the result. Very logical, huh? All of it so clear. And it's true. And even these people that say God is within, I don't need to go, they themselves become degraded, and the society, the rest of the society isn't thinking God is within, they're thinking, where's the next opportunity for enjoyment? And it just becomes progressively more and more and more degraded.
Can you highlight also whichever Maharaj is?
And then even the places of
Prabhu, can you highlight also those lines which Maharaj is speaking? And increase the further, you can increase the further font size also. Thank you.
Yeah, Prabhu. Font size I already increased.
You can increase further and highlight whatever Maharaj is speaking so that we can follow.
Yeah, it's 40, 54.2, but let me go back.
Again, we cannot hear, or maybe pause sharing or what.
It's not playing to go.
You are not able to hear, Prabhu?
No, Prabhu.
No? Is it not
No.
audible?
No.
Oh.
and mosques and churches become social welfare centers.
Yes,
Prabhu.
This philanthropy,
show that word up.
welfare work.
This will play and show the Word document to be maximized. You play here.
This is what Prabhupada writes about it. In the Upanishad, that one of the most harmful Bhaktisiddhanta was like.
So shall I do that? I think any problem? Prabhu, shall I play this? If you are any facing problem.
Prabhu, was the audio coming when I was playing?
Yes, Prabhu. But now I think it is past.
Hmm.
Prabhu, Dilal, Prabhu, you continue, Prabhu. I'll you start playing, Prabhu.
Yeah.
I think some.
You stop sharing. So my screen is visible, devotees, right? 54 minutes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Even these people that say God is within, I don't need to go. They themselves become degraded. And the society, the rest of the society isn't thinking God is within. They're thinking, where's the next opportunity for enjoyment? And it just becomes progressively more and more and more degraded like that. And then even the places of temples and mosques and churches become social welfare centers, where from the church they do this philanthropy, they do that welfare work. And this is what Prabhupada writes about in the Upanishad, that one of the most harmful Bhaktisiddhanta was like, what is wrong about this? The expectation of religious institutions to be social welfare agencies is completely taken away. It covers the real purpose of religion. It's one's relationship with God. Not serve temporary service to temporary bodies, temporary living entities. But praised in this world is that work. So, the people pay their taxes, expect government agencies to do this stuff, and they give their donations to religious organizations expecting them to do this stuff. And then it's just very perverted. And as the government agencies are elected by vote, so also they think, you're popular as long as you do these welfare activities. And they'll bluntly ask, what are you doing to help people? Well, what about spiritual education? That's nice, but what are you doing to help people? Well, what about, birth, death, disease, and old age, and helping people become free from birth, death, disease, and old age? That's nice, but what are you doing to help people? Well, we have food for life program. Oh, that's very nice, very good. Nice to see you doing something to help people. As a result, godless society comes. Where's God in that picture of helping people? What's the goal? What's the absolute truth? It's lost. Okay, so then the next section goes into the consequences of neglect of this principle. Hellish, godless civilization results. Such a hellish civilization artificially increases the conditions of life and existence becomes intolerable for everyone, if foolish leaders of a godless civilization try to devise various plans to bring about peace and prosperity in a godless world under a patent trademark of materialism, because such attempts are illusory. Only people who act incompetent, blind leaders, one after another, who are incapable of offering solutions. It's not just painted black. It's just how it is. Because the fundamental point is being missed. It's cheating. Excuse me, Mr. Politician, but you're cheating. Citizens, they're cheating. What are you doing here? Because you want peace and prosperity. So make some economic thing and say, with this economic thing, we'll give charity to third world countries. Anyway. And people aren't satisfied with the leaders, and so they tear leaders down. And that's the way that it goes. In the end result, people are cheated. They're deprived of the real essence that leaders are supposed to help people achieve. Achieve the essence and protect that essence. It's lost. There's godless civilization. So one more time, if we at all want to end this anomaly of godless civilization, we must follow the principles of revealed scripture like Srimad Bhagavatam, follow the instructions of a person like Sri Shukadeva Goswami, who has no attraction for material gain and purport. There's this phrase that comes in the 4th chapter, Gata Yodika, which Prabhupada translated as free from attention. And here it's having no attraction to material gain. Second Avenue, where Prabhupada's from. Then the door opened and recorded. You hear trucks go by, zoom, zoom with the traffic. And it was a sign. Hope this subsides. Strong purport. Bhagavatam is strong medicine for persons who listen carefully, read it carefully. Strong medicine, because the disease is very powerful. So the cure also has to be very powerful if you take it seriously. We should be rescued from the contaminated portion of conditional life. Even in the midst of it. Any comments, questions? Is it okay to go progressively?
Yes, it's okay to keep on applying the instruction, understanding that yes, I'm not applying
The plane is louder than you. Try it again. There's already a challenge here with all the street noise and the air noise and the people noise. Go ahead.
It's okay to apply the instruction, knowing that I'm not applying for fully, but yes.
Yes, Sure. Is it okay to apply them as much as I can, knowing I'm not applying fully? That's just realism. And while doing so, there's this internal humility. That at the same time there's an internal striving with enthusiasm, striving, but checked by humility, curbed by, so I don't become proud. Look at how I'm applying. I'm not, what am I doing? It's just some portion. And feeling sheltered by the process. I know that I trust the process will carry me to the goal. Yeah. Within one's capacity. Let's take chanting. We know what the quality of our chanting isn't. So apply the same, what you just spoke, to the activity of chanting. Is it okay to chant, to our capacity, knowing it's not fully attentive, not immersed in the holy name, and then take that same principle and apply it to the other things of life. Bhaktivinoda Thakur teaches, without enthusiasm, we can't progress. So there has to be some enthusiasm. Let me go beyond my limitation, my current limitation. But then I need Krishna's mercy in order to go beyond my limitation. I need some strength that's beyond my strength. That's bhakti. One's feeling oneself dependent. That it's chastened by humility. But enthusiasm must be there. So all I'm saying here is, while following the model that you just described, of carefully guarding against complacency. Oh, I'm okay. Mara says, okay, just do what you can do. I'm okay. Keeps striving. Internally, there has to be an aspiration to reach the goal, which I'm watching right now. Enthusiasm comes right at the beginning. Once the goal is defined, enthusiasm. Tempered by patience and sustained by conviction. Something else? Yes?
Morning class.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj is going for another question, so we can pause here. Yes, Krishna Prabhu, please continue. Thank you.
Hare Krishna devotees. Anyone would like to share your feedback, comments on today's lecture? Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu, you are. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sharbar Mataji, you can go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I like the line which said that Bhagavatam is a strong medicine if listened carefully. So that line I liked. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Yes.
Another powerful statement is going beyond our limitation, and then there is a struggle, and then person or the practicing devotee, he becomes humble, and he will pray for Krishna's mercy, and then he will go further. So there is humility aspect is something which is very like, because sometimes we go out of our capacity and there is no humility aspect. Definitely, very slowly pride will come in. So that is the part I like. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Deolanta Prabhu. Madhavi Mataji, would you like to share today?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Shabri Mataji, she shared, same point I felt like Bhagavatam is strong medicine for persons who listen carefully. So when I heard from Maharaj, it's like up to us how much we want to take medicine and cure ourselves, or how we want to be with the disease like that, Prabhu. So that is the, and always enthusiasm that it will, we never that enthusiasm we need to be with Sahan while doing devotional service, chanting, hearing, these all, that enthusiasm is a key factor I felt in the practicing Krishna consciousness. That's it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing nice comment. So anyone would like to share?
So I see one devotee in SKD unmuted. Maybe it's Shampun too.
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry, I was unmuted.
Prabhu, would you like to continue?
Just one quick thing. Yesterday I missed the session, and I guess you all did discuss about the role of philanthropy. I think you all discussed in our own lives. Maybe one sentence, two sentence. What was your discussion conclusion? If you can tell me. That's a
Actually, Guru Maharaj said that the temples and should not become just philanthropic organizations for the welfare societies, like he said today also. So if you are just making the temples as philanthropic, then you are missing the point. It is mainly for God consciousness.
Yeah. And everybody agreed to it, or was there somebody who felt, no, this should be done differently? Anybody felt differently?
No, I asked the question, what did he mean by that temple should not become just welfare organizations? What are we doing wrong? So that we can correct ourselves. What did he mean by that?
And what was the response, Mataji, if I may know?
I don't really recollect the response, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, the response was basically given by Yupal Kishore Prabhu and also Harisham Prabhu added. And mainly it was that whenever that philanthropist activities are being done, main thing is the Krishna consciousness mood has to be there. If that is not there, then it becomes just philanthropic institutions. But as long as Krishna is in the center and it is being done with that, then the purpose is met. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Just to add to your question itself, Mataji, not the answer itself, Kumarika Mataji. The thing with like you take the example of, the Venkateshwara temple or the Balaji temple in Tirupati. It is run by the Tirupati Tirumala Devasam Trust, TTD. Every year they get some money. And with that money, they do three kinds of things. One portion of it, they use it for maintaining the temple and getting facilities for people who come there to stay there and to keep the temple clean and get them darshan. That is temple and its allied activities. They use that, and of course for making prasadam, they give free food to everybody who comes to the temple. So that's the temple's activities alone they do. Second kind of activities they do is wherever there is a study of the Vedas, wherever there are some scriptures by the previous past acharyas, and if it needs to be propagated, they sponsor money for such activities. We'll have to write a proposal, and then based on the proposal, they do allocate some funds for it. That is the number two. The number three is where the government tries to take in some money from this, or the government says, hey, people need some roads, people need some other facilities like hospitals. So it's money generated by people and you have to give it to people. So it finally boils down that the cause of people, I mean, the general public donated for God, but government and those who are in the management of, say, the TTD, who feel that when people donate something, it should be used for the benefit of people. So somehow or the other, the benefit of people leads to most of them thinking, I have to get their health stuff properly, open hospitals, their sanity should be good, there should be some toilets that is opened, things like that. All of that, people they justify it saying money of people is going back to people. But what these people miss is it's the money of God should go to God. They think that just because somebody has money, it should be used for the sake of uh, those people who give the money. They don't see the hand of God who actually helps them get the money. And this same kind of mentality sometimes happens in many spiritual organizations, which is spending a lot of time, energy, and effort, say in um, even giving food to people. Maybe there is a tsunami, cyclone, etc. It so happens that it is a duty of the government to give it. The spiritualist can come there and just offer the food or help in cooking it. But in or trying to organize the food to be distributed to those who are affected, etc., the time that can be spent by a devotee to dive deeper into Bhagavatam instead gets into organizing things here. So the devotees are supposed to are made to take over the role of the government, and that is why we have to be very, very careful. And that's why I, I wanted to ask the next level of question. I mean that's just the background, but I wanted to ask the next level of question that we find, say, within ISKCON is a very great, very, very great sannyasi by name His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He has started the Barsana Eye Camp. He is also starting a hospital in near Mumbai. It's in a place called Vada, where he has started the Govardhan Eco Village. Now, somebody can ask the question, Prabhupada did not like it. Why? How come Prabhupada's disciple himself is doing this? And in light of the fact, whatever is told right now. So, one answer you all told is, or Harisham Prabhu and Yugala Krishna Prabhu did tell is, if it is Krishna conscious, like what you said, I wasn't there. If it is, if the objective is Krishna conscious, yes. So when somebody asked the same question to Radhanath Maharaj, he said, I have devotees who are from the medical background. They need a suitable engagement. So now this hospital is there for all of them to engage and engage their talents, their abilities, and while being engaged in their talents and abilities, also be instrumental in giving Krishna Bhakti. So they have a chariot of Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, which goes to each patient's ward, and then they give them prasadam, etc. They chant Hare Krishna mantra in front of the patients. So they do that kind of a thing which can not be done in a regular hospital. So it requires some creativity and deep intelligence to present Krishna consciousness like that. But having said it, it is only feasible when there are devotees who have the ability to say, I like to construct a building, or there is no problem for me if I start constructing a building. That is in my blood right now. So they can then construct a temple. There are devotees who can very well treat a patient. They are used to it for 5-6 years after training in MBBS or working outside. Then for such people, you can create facilities. But when such people with such proclivities don't exist, and yet we start off doing it, then we are diverting the inquisitive nature of the soul, the tendency of the person to dive deep into scriptures, into something else. So that's something that we have to be careful of. That's it, Kumarika Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Now I get a clear picture. What you are giving that example of Tirupati Devasthanam. Yes, they are opening universities, they are opening hospitals, but the spiritual upliftment of the people is not taken care of by the temple as such. The activities are all welfare. That is why Maharaj has said that the temple should not become just philanthropic organization. On the contrary, we see that Prabhupada made he had the clear vision and he made these temples as basically they're all fundamentally they are going to be preaching centers where people will be educated, and along with that they will give whatever aid something is required, annadan, and we have got the annadan program, food for life and everything. Other things are going along with, but the main thrust of the temple will not be just a social welfare center. Now I get the point very clearly, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Shweta Mataji, would you like to go your question today?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Shamkan Prabhuji, I had a question yesterday. It was not related to the class, but it was related to the Mahakumbh. We are listening so many things going on. So my question was, is Mahakumbh has any relation or any significance or basically importance for the Krishna devotees? And if yes, then what? And if not, then why it doesn't have any significance for us?
Okay. Two things, Mataji. Most of you know that when the churning of the milk ocean episode happened, that is when Mohini Avatar took place and the nectar, Amrita, the pot of nectar came about. Some drops of nectar dropped in some places in Haridwar, some place in Prayagraj, etc. And that is why these places have, since that nectar is deposited, people come and visit these holy places. That is one part of it. So the nectar is associated with the Leela of the Supreme Lord, and to that effect, people come there. All the holy Vaishnava sadhus also go there, and they use it as an opportunity to discuss this katha, that okay, it is at this place that this particular Leela of the Supreme Lord happened, ideally. That is one part of it. The other part of it is that many people also see it as a means by which Lord Shiva, uh, because they see the Ganga Devi in relationship to Lord Shiva. And since this nectar is there within Ganga Devi, and they like Lord Shiva very much, so they come to these holy places to celebrate anything that is associated with Lord Shiva. That is for some of them as such. However, in the Hari Bhakti Vilas and other places, it is, and even in the Brihat Bhagavatamrita, it is said that in the month of Magha, like this Magha Mas or whatever is going on right now, one should ideally go to a holy place like this Prayagraj. It specifically said a snana in the Prayagraj. It's not just during the Kumbh Mela. It's not just during 12 years or 144 years, etc. Every year, one can go to this Magha month and take a bath in this holy place. It will benefit a person's spiritual consciousness. Having said that, in that very, this is given in the Bhagavatamrita, but it is also given in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, that every day in the morning, when we wake up and we remember the Supreme Lord after we wake up, when we take bath, etc., that same effect can come to us here itself. So it's the remembrance that is important to us, number one. But sometimes it so happens that we forget the value of this remembrance. It becomes too mechanical. That is why devotees often go on pilgrimage, because when spiritual practices become too mechanical, pilgrimages give us an opportunity to come out of our comfort zone, walk someplace, etc. And in that, and then we don't have the good comfort we have at home of an AC or a bed or things like that. So in such a circumstance, we will pray much more earnestly, and there will be some reciprocation there, especially if we also hear to Osadu, that holy place. So it's not like always sitting at home is sufficient. If sitting at home is sufficient, even temple is not required. Because in temple, the standard of cleanliness, the standard of worship is higher. So we go there to the temple also. And likewise, we go to a holy place also, just so that we can improve our dependence on the Supreme Lord. That's the thing, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, I mean, it's not that something we should think too much, the celestial arrangements and all. So, it's all basically for increasing the devotion. So,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
Anyone would like to share anything last notes?
Amkun Prabhu, I have little disagreement with what you said, that now we are opening ISKCON, in ISKCON we are opening temple, etc. So that those who are having that particular talent, they can use their talent, and then at the same time, it can resonate with what they have as a talent. And
I meant about the hospital and the eye camp, and not the temple.
sorry, yeah, so they can use this in constructing the hospital, etc.
And I didn't say that. That's what Radhanath Maharaj told. Okay.
Right. But once we are aware of this philosophy, or once the devotee goes deep into the philosophy, he will find that, okay, maybe my uh, ultimate purpose, or my actual capability is somewhere else. I should not unnecessarily waste my time here. Isn't it true?
Correct.
So
It happens. So if you look at the Bhaktivedanta hospital in Mumbai, it's in a place called Mira Road. Already there is one hospital there.
Hmm.
Originally, the founders of them, I think sometime in 1990s, they started it. Now the founders have moved on. There's a next set of people coming there. So everybody at a particular age, they have some energy to do it at a particular age. And then after some time, they like to do something else. People change. And so they have moved out of that hospital also. They're staying as consultants.
But Prabhu, but in that during course of that time, I mean, they wasted a lot of their time and energy in doing, or wasted, or like they could have used fully getting absorbed into this Krishna consciousness, spreading it, or something else. So
It's not just about them. I'll ask the same question to you too. Why are you still working in an office? Or why is anybody else working in this world? Right? There are two things. For most people, they need a source of livelihood. It was the same case even for those doctors. They needed a source of livelihood. Now that is number one. Number two, everybody or 99% of the people in this world need a structured life. If they don't have some place to go and do some work, they don't have structured work, they don't end up either doing devotional service or even keeping their body fit and mind fit or even getting some money. They can't do it. People need structured work. That's number two. So money is number one, getting structured work is number two, and number three is it is in doing things, activities of this world that one can develop Krishna consciousness, at least in the beginning stages. Nobody is, or most people are not ready for full-time devotional service. And being in a position like, especially like something like a medical field, does allow opportunities to work from the heart that I like this person to get cured. I like to serve. It's not the ultimate, definitely, but it is a step in the direction. So the the if a solution for what you have to be said is done, it means that limit your work first to some number of hours. See if the rest of the hours can be used to dive deeper into one's spiritual life. If one can do it, then one should get out of it. One should get out of other things and go deeper. It should come from within. That's the thing.
In fact, people, Prabhu, I like it very much because I was asking something similar like this. So you spoke only about the medical field, but I was thinking it can be in other fields also. There can be school. I mean, I
Yeah,
have referred it before also. Our
yes,
kids go to some Christian school somewhere. They learn all nonsense things. So if there are something where people can give their energy and all, the kids can learn something which is really in relevance to our scriptures.
correct.
Apart from the normal curriculum which they have to study, but orientation is always important. The concept and consciousness is always important.
Correct. Correct. Yes. And in fact, Srila Prabhupada set up Gurukulas also.
Right. So this for me, it is a very good concept, which I think should be even more.
Yes. And this is something which people should self-organize and do it, not expect a spiritual organization to do it. Otherwise, the lines become blurred. The spiritual organization gives the philosophical training. People do it on their own. Just like businesses are separate, spiritual organizations are separate. A spiritual organization should not get into the business like that.
Yes, Prabhu. But I feel um, spiritual organization can support,
Can
if not.
support, can
Hmm.
support by giving the thought process, by guidance, etc. Or in other words, it should ideally be the Brahminical role of a spiritual organization. The more any spiritual organization delves into non-Brahminical aspects, the tendency is it
Okay, it can diverge. Okay.
it can, yeah, it sucks all the energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, what you said today was fantastic in each and everything. So just like Bhagavatam, this is also very powerful medicine. Prabhu, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So, shall we stop today here? We are 7:16 now.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna
you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.